Erev Tov, everyone. Erev Tov. It is Monday night. It is 8 p.m. here on the east side of the United States, here in the diaspora. This is the Maimon Beit Knesset. Therefore, it must be Zeyde Story Corner. Yeah, of course, Zeyde Story Corner. And we continue tonight with the stories from the Sephardic tradition. And the sun is down. And Hanukkah is over. Yes, sir, isn't it? Yeah, it is kind of sad that Hanukkah is over. So let's see who we have in the chat room first. We have Donald, we have Veronica, and we have Richard so far. And so how's Hanukkah? Yeah, Hanukkah was wonderful. I had my sons and my granddaughter here for Hanukkah to watch the Hanukkah lighting for the last night of Hanukkah. And how was yours? It was good. It was very good. Okay. Well, yeah. Anything special going on? No. I mean, other than the fact that over the last couple of days, I pulled a muscle in my leg. And how in the world did you do that? Well, I was exercising. Exercising, huh? Yes, I was exercising. I was doing some squats and I pulled a muscle in my leg. You're doing squats. That's right. And how many did you do? Um, one. One, really? Okay. I did half of one. I pulled a muscle in my leg and I had to stop. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, okay. Well, maybe we should just get on with the stories. I see Marshall has joined us. Let's, before you pull a muscle. Yeah, okay, before I pull another muscle, let's get you onto your camera. And there we go. We are going to tell these stories tonight and hope that we don't pull a muscle. All right, you can lay it off on the pulled muscle now. Okay, let's go on with the stories tonight. Okay, so this first story that we are going to tell tonight is The King's Wise Daughter, which I certainly hope that she's got a better name than Goat Boy did. Oh, you are going to keep on with that Goat. Who in the world names their kid Goat Boy? Oh, that was a terrible name. I know. You made a very serious point about it last week. Can we just get on with the stories? Okay, but if we get another one with Goat Boy in there, I'm going to have something to say. I know you probably will have something to say about it. Okay, so let's go on with the story, shall we? Let us do that. Okay. So again, this story is called The King's Wise Daughter. Once there were lots of kings, the English and the French and all of those. The king of Turkey had a beautiful daughter. That was because among the Turks, the women always covered their faces, and if your face never sees the light and never feels the air, it is always like milk. She was beautiful. The son of the King of England heard about her and how exquisitely beautiful she was, and decided he wanted to marry her. Well, of course he did. My daughter cannot marry him, insisted the King of Turkey, because he is a Christian and she is a Muslim. If you don't give her willingly, retorted the King of England, we'll go to war. So be it, said her father. Her father, the Turkish king, asked his daughter what she wanted. Shall we fight a war, or are you willing? I'll never marry a Christian, she replied forcefully. So what could her father do? In that case, he said, we'll go to war. But first, before we start fighting, I will build you an underground palace inside a mountain. No one will know where you are. He sent an envoy to the King of England. Wait, give us time to think it over. Well, in the meantime, he sent his workers to build a palace inside a mountain. It was a real palace with a pool and servants and everything. The first young man you meet here, said her father, however he gets in, through the door or through the window, that young man is your destiny. All right. Even if he is poor, whoever he is. Her father sealed her in, and the war began. The Turkish king lost. The English king sent envoys to look for the princess, who had vanished, as if the earth had swallowed her up. Where could she be? She really was under the ground, of course, but he could not find her palace. This is because the Turkish king did not like Napoleon and killed all the builders, so they would not be able to talk. There was a poor young man who was bored with his life. What kind of life did he have anyway? He did not have a job, and he could not find one. So he used to roam aimlessly during the day and sleep at night in the mountains. One night, in the dark, he saw a small light shining out of the mountainside. What could that be? Maybe there are demons who knows what's inside. So the man started walking toward the light. When he got close, he saw it was coming from some kind of window. I can slip in through the window, he told himself. First, he stuck his head in. When he saw that his head fit, he tried his body too. He climbed inside and discovered a palace. But what a palace! He opened the kitchen door and saw food. The poor young man who was famished began to eat. The servants lying in bed heard the noise of cutlery on china. They got up and rushed to the kitchen. What did they see there? This poor young fellow, quite pathetic in his tattered clothes, but a handsome man all the same. They went and knocked on the princess's door. Come and see, there's a young man here. We do not know how he got in, but you just have to come and see him. He's eating like there's no tomorrow. Kind of like you yesterday. Yeah, okay, let's forget about it. He must be dying of hunger. Of course, you're not dying of hunger. We can tell that very easily. Oh, quit it. Anyway, let's get back to the story, huh? Okay. He's eating like there's no tomorrow. He must be dying of hunger. The princess got up, put on a robe over her nightgown, and went down to the kitchen. He was indeed a handsome fellow, but such a pathetic sight with no coat or shoes. All right, she told her servants. I don't want him to see me now. I'm going back to sleep. When he finishes eating, give him a nice pair of pajamas and a comfortable bed to sleep in. We will speak with him tomorrow." When he had finished eating, the servant said to him, "Come now, take a bath. Take these pajamas, put them on, and sleep in a comfortable bed." He did as they said. Having eaten his fill, what he wanted now was to sleep. He took a bath, put on his pajamas, and went to bed. He slept 10 or 12 hours. In the morning, the princess went and bathed in the river, which passed right through the palace. Then she got dressed and came into the living room. The young man got up at noon. The servants set the table with him on one side and her on the other. "How did you get in?" she asked him. "Where do you come from?" "My grandmother was always telling me to find a job," he replied, "but I never found one. Finally, I ran off to the mountains. I told myself that whatever happens to me, let it happen. And God sent me here. I saw a small light shining in your window, and I came in here." "All right," said the princess. "You can stay here. Eat and drink. You'll find whatever you want here." So he stayed. There were many rooms in the underground palace, and even a garden. He saw them all, as well as all the servants. A week passed, then two, and they started to fall in love. She saw that he was a handsome man and was simply unfortunate. "Look," she told him, "I am a princess. Be sure that you don't leave by the window. But if you have to go out for some fresh air, make sure you never bring anyone back with you. It's important. Of course, we have plenty to eat, but you must never bring a guest here with you." "All right," he said. He started going out every day. He simply could not stand it inside. He learned his way through the mountains, and as the days passed, he strayed farther and farther from the underground palace. Eventually, he discovered an Arab coffee house. He would sit there and watch them, the men, play checkers, but never joined in their games or talk. Still, he came every day, and every evening returned to the palace alone. Well, back to the King of England's son. He looked for a witch who could divine where the young woman was being kept. When they found such a witch, she cast lots. "The king's daughter is alive," she reported. "She's somewhere in the mountains, hidden in the mountains over there, but I don't know exactly where." So now the prince knew that she was hiding somewhere in the mountains. He would find her. He sent his officers and soldiers. They hunted for her 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. They happened on the coffee house that the poor young man used to frequent. Look, one of his advisers said to the prince, the witch said it was this mountain. She should disguise herself as a man and come to this coffee house. There has been someone from around here who knows where the princess is. So the witch dressed up like a man and went to the coffee house. She sat there and saw that all of them were playing except for one young man. Why aren't you playing with the rest of them? She asked. I don't know how to play the game. Where do you live? Here, he said. Far from here? No. What with one thing and another, it got to be evening. He got up to go. Take me home with you, proposed the disguised witch. No, I can't. I'm not allowed to take anybody with me. Take me with you. I'm all alone here. I don't have anyone. Where can I sleep? If you have a place, please take me along. The poor fellow was compassionate. He knew what it was like to be poor. So he took the disguised witch with him. He climbed in through the window, and the other one followed. They sat at the table and sat down to eat with the princess without speaking a word. But the princess was fuming like a hot pepper. At night, when it was time for bed, she upbraided the young man. Didn't I tell you not to bring anyone into my house? He cried so much that I took pity on him. He cried that he had no one here in the mountains. Where would he go to sleep? So I brought him here. All right. Give him a room and let him sleep there. In the morning, the lad and the disguised witch went back out together. The witch, who now knew about the window, went and told the English prince that she had found the Turkish princess. Back to the young man and the princess. That night he had noticed that she had hid keys under her hair when she went to bed. After she had fallen asleep, he took the keys and began to open the doors. What did he find? A veritable paradise. Houses, gardens, all sorts of things he had never seen in his life. Finally, he happened on the room where she bathed. Her towel and bathrobe were hanging there. The nightgown was studded with diamonds. He had never seen such a garment. The lad took another step and tried to pick up the gown and look at it. But it was very heavy because of the diamonds and fell from his hands right into the river that ran through the princess's bathrobe. The current carried off the bathrobe. The young man's face turned pale, but he was afraid to go after the bathrobe, fearing that the current would sweep him away too. In the evening, when they sat down to eat together, she noticed how pale he was. What happened? Why are you so pale? You're not as handsome as you usually are." "What should I tell you?" "Tell me the truth." "I went and opened all the doors in the palace. I opened the door to the river where you bathe and saw a bathrobe whose like I had never seen. I wanted to look at it more closely, but when I picked it up, it fell into the river, which swept it away. Then we are lost. The bathrobe will reach the hands of the English prince. His soldiers will find it. What can we do?" she said. "We must run away from here. There's nothing else to do." Taking the young man and 2 horses, she opened the palace gate and they fled. They rode on and on till they reached the city. But before they entered it, they were captured by a band of horsemen. The princess was beautiful, but her face was covered so that none could see her. But these 41 thieves captured her and removed her veil. When they saw her beauty in the night, they took it into their hands to ravish her. "What are you doing?" she protested. "How dare you assault me? Don't you know that I have come here for your leader? I've been looking for him." The leader, hearing this, ordered his men off. "Leave her alone. She's come for me." They took her to their hideout, which was a cave in the mountain. "I'm thirsty," said the princess. "Please bring me something to drink and bring me a salad too." While she was drinking, she made sure that the thieves drank a lot so they would fall into a drunken sleep. But she gestured to the young man not to drink anything. So he ate the food, but he did not drink anything, while she got all of them drunk until they passed out. "These bastards," she told the young man, "they're all thieves and the authorities can't catch them. But now that I know the place where the thieves hide, I'll show them." In the middle of the night, she got up and took a dagger of the leader, the biggest one, who had a fine dagger sharp enough to cut the head off a bull. She sliced off their noses. Then she took the young man and the horses, and they rode away. They rode until they reached the city. There was a minaret near the gate. "Come," she told her companion, "we are tired. We have to find a place to sleep." They found the house of the sheikh, who knocked on the door. He opened. "Shalom," he said. Actually, salam. "What a beautiful young woman," he thought. "She must have come to me straight from Allah." They left the horses below and climbed up in his room. "Yalla, come to eat," he said to his guest. "Eat, drink, then you can spend the night." The sheikh was so smitten by her beauty that he wanted to sleep with her. What did she do? She saw what the sheikh, you know what a sheikh is, it's like a rabbi for Arabs. She saw what he wanted, the bastard, so she offered to slice the bread. "You're a man. Sit down while I get the table ready." While she was slicing the bread, she cut her finger on purpose. The blood flowing, and he, the sheikh, didn't know what to do. "Quick, bring me some salt." She poured salt on her wound. All night her hand throbbed, keeping her awake, even though she was dead tired and had not slept in a long time. But she knew that if she fell asleep, the bastard of a sheikh would take advantage of her. All night long she screamed and moaned from the pain. "Come, let's go to sleep," he said. "It will pass." "No, my hand hurts where I cut it," she said. All night she stayed awake. Finally morning came, when the sheikh had to climb up to the top of the minaret to call out, as they do. He closed the door and locked them in. "Quick," the princess said to the young man, "let's tear up all these sheets and join them in a rope so that we can get down to the horses." They mounted, opened the gate, and galloped off. "I'm not going on," she told the young man. "You ride back to the palace and tell the servants to come and bring horses and knives with them. We're sure to get in trouble again, and the two of us can't manage alone. And both of us are dead tired." "All right," he said, and he galloped back to the palace. When he got there, he climbed through the window. "Open the gate," he told the servants, "and bring me horses and knives." "What do you want?" "Just horses and daggers." "Shouldn't we come along to help?" "No, she doesn't want you. I'm with her." "Didn't she tell you that we should come help?" "No. Why should she? I'm with her." They knew that she wanted help, but he was a bovom and did not understand the princess. He took the knives and led the horses after his house. Yalla, he gabbled through the night until he reached their rendezvous. And here's where we're going to take our break for tonight. Okay, so you have to wait until David Berger has joined us. So we're going to take our 6-minute break, and when we return, we'll find out what's going on with this young man and the princess. So everybody, please stay tuned. We'll be back in 6.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
It's intermission time, folks, so hurry, hurry, hurry. Step right over to our refreshment center for the most extravagant array of refreshment goodies ever assembled under one roof. Enjoy breathtaking, mouth-watering goodies, everything from a snack to a delicious full meal. At our refreshment center, you'll find a large variety of goodies to satisfy your hunger, your thirst, or your sweet tooth. So hurry, hurry, hurry. Visit our refreshment center now. The show starts in 5 minutes. The show starts in 4 minutes. The show starts in 3 minutes. The show starts in 2 minutes. The show starts in 1 minute. And now, on with the show.
And we are back. I forgot that David was in Eretz Israel with his mother Catherine, and who is finally there and living there and getting proper medical attention now. And we love you, Catherine, and we hope you are feeling much better now. Okay, so we go on with our story now. Okay, where did we leave off? Okay. Let's see. Okay, so he got the horses and stuff, and okay. So they knew that she wanted to help, but okay, we did that one. Okay, let's get down a little bit farther here. Okay, so where are the servants? She asked in surprise. Didn't you bring them? Didn't I tell you to fetch them? I didn't, because you and I can manage by ourselves. How can we manage by ourselves? We're sure to get into trouble again. Our destiny is in a distant city. But now that we have gone and come back, she could not very well send him off again. So they started for the city. In the meantime, some children had found the princess's bathrobe in the river. Let's take this to the prince, they said. He's sure to give us a handsome reward. They went to the English prince and showed him what they had fished out of the water. Now give us our reward. Certainly, he replied. He gave every boy some money and took the bathrobe. This is the Turkish princess's bathrobe, he told his advisors. Hurry, let's go look for her near the river. He sent his soldiers out. As for the thieves, they finally awoke up in the morning. What happened to your noses? Said one to another. You shouldn't talk. What happened to your nose? The witch cut off our noses. She made us into a laughing stocks. 2 horse will find her. And they set out in pursuit of the princess. Meanwhile, the princess and the young man galloped along until they reached the city that was their destination. Now we've reached the city, she told him, where there is a government. Nobody can hurt us here. When they entered the city, a dove was flying overhead. The king of the town had just died, and the ministers had set the bird loose. Whoever's head the dove landed on, that person would be the new king. The young man had brought clothes from the underground palace, and the princess disguised herself as a young man. The moment she entered the city, the dove alighted on her head. But all the men protested in Arabic. She's not from this city. How can he be our king? We don't know him. Who knows who he is? Send up the bird a second time. The second time the bird flew around and around and landed on the princess's head. Again, the people objected and released the bird. But when it landed on her head a third time, they gave up. He is our king. If the dove landed on his head 3 times, we have no alternative. They took the princess, dressed her in the royal robes, and installed her as king. The young man became her chief minister. So she became king in that city, ruling justly and wisely. She got to know the city and her subjects, and also asked her ministers for advice. 2 or 3 weeks passed. One day, the princess king summoned a photographer. So this must have been in the late 1800s, huh? Okay, anyway. I want to share a secret with you, a secret that only you and I will know. Take a picture of me dressed as a woman. But if anybody finds out, you'll pay with your head. It's a secret between the two of us. All right, said the photographer. She put on her dress, everything. The photographer took her picture. Then she gave him a large sum as payment. If you're afraid you'll give away the secret, she told him, leave this city. People must not know our secret. So, the photographer left the city. Then the princess had her portrait hung by the gate to the city, by the river, where anyone who entered the city would see it. She stationed soldiers there and ordered them to arrest and bring to her anyone who commented on the picture. Who should see it first but the son of the King of England? He galloped his horse right up to the river and to let it drink. While the horse was drinking, he looked up and saw the picture. Oh, here she is. She must be somewhere around here. Overhearing him, the police quickly arrested the prince and hauled him off to prison. Who should appear next but the thieves? While their horses were drinking, they looked up and saw the picture. There she is, the witch who cut off our noses. Where is she? The police pounced on them and took them to jail. Not long after, the sheikh, too, was caught. Now all of them were in prison, and without the slightest idea why. She sent her herald. They did not have loudspeakers there, though through the city to summon all the people and ministers to an open field where she would conduct a public trial. Lots and lots of people came. The ministers and the young man sat near her. First, they brought out the English prince. The princess turned to the assembly for a verdict. What does this man deserve who wanted to force a girl to marry him and went to war and killed her whole family, and he's still pursuing her? What does such a young man deserve? The crowd was unanimous, and he should be hanged, because he had killed the whole family and wanted to take the girl by force. The English prince could not understand what was happening to him. Why was the king of this city trying him at all? The guards took him back to the prison to await his execution. Then they brought out the thieves. What do these 40 brigands deserve? Commanded the princess. The government could never manage to lay hands on them. They caught that girl, and all of them wanted to sleep with her. But she was smart and pretended that she was drinking and got them drunk. And when they fell asleep, she cut off their noses. Now, what do these thieves deserve? First of all, they're thieves. Secondly, they wanted to take that girl and do what they wanted with her. All of them. Hang them, cried the people. Thieves end up on the gallows. Then they brought in the sheikh. A sheikh, she said, is a teacher who prays morning and evening, and everybody has to listen to him. But when the young woman entered his house, instead of asking her, what do he do? Let me help you with whatever you need. Do you want to eat? Are you hungry? Why did you run away? Let me help you. Instead, he wanted to sleep with her that first night. She was lucky that she cut her finger and didn't sleep that night. In the morning, he locked the door when he went to pray so that he could come back and be with the girl. What do you think of him, this teacher who wants to be a teacher of women? Hang him, they exclaimed. A teacher who is supposed to teach people how to be good, but is bad himself, deserves death. She sent them all off to wait their execution. What did the princess do then? She went inside, put on the dress. When she came back out, she said, what do you say? Here is the young woman. All the people applauded wildly. Now we realize that you're a king's daughter, they said. You know law and justice. You have been here for several months, and everything is going very well. Stay here and be our queen. A queen instead of a king. She agreed. As for this young man, she added, I'm going to marry him because he didn't do anything to me. My father told me that God would send me a husband through the window, and that's how it was. Now, I'm going to marry him, but all those villains will be hanged, and I'll stay here and be your queen. And so it was. She stayed there as their queen, and the young man became her husband. And all the people of the city were absolutely delighted with her, and this is the end. Ta-da! What do you think about that story? Okay. That was a good one. Yeah, this next story is, again, is another long story, so I think we are going to end a few minutes early tonight. So, not too early, though. Okay. So, tomorrow night, the rabbis discuss whatever it is the rabbis decide to discuss. I don't think they actually know yet. Do you? No. We'll make that decision probably tomorrow morning. Well, at least you'll talk about something. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about something. Okay, so they're going to talk about something. We don't know what it is, but they are going to talk about something. Okay, and then on Wednesday night is the new Torah study. The Torah study of the Parsha of the week. So, and then on Friday night is Kabbalat and Ma'ariv, the Shabbat service, if the power stays on, right? Yeah. Well, with all the really bad weather and the very high winds, the power and the internet kept coming in and out all day long. And so we figured it was probably just a good idea to cancel services, because once we get in, and it actually did. The power actually did go off about shortly after we would have started the services. And that's your excuse. Yeah, that's my excuse. I'm going to go with it. Okay, then, if everything goes right, which it should, because it's going to warm up. You would not believe it was below zero, and we are going to be almost 50 degrees by the end of the week. Okay, we're in Michigan. Welcome to Michigan. If you don't like the weather, stick around for 5 minutes. It will change. Guaranteed. Okay, and then Shabbat morning at 10 a.m. is Shachrit Musaf service, and then right back here again on Monday, and we tell another story. Hope to see you then. Until then, my friends, we shall simply say, Laila Tov.